I met Felicity and her family in 1989 in Kenya, Africa. For 2 weeks, we were thrown together on a wonderful horseback safari. Since then, I have maintained a friendship with her oldest sister, Mariah, but it had been a long time since I had seen Felicity.
Hi. How are you?
I don't want to mess you up.
No.
In 16 years, she hadn't changed from what I remembered. Smart, kind, wickedly funny, self-deprecating to a fault, especially when I whipped out old pictures of our trip to Kenya.
Remember that person?
Nice riding there. Oh my God, look at me with my bad perm and my fat butt.
Fat?
Oh,
You were
look
tiny.
at my huge glasses. Those were the height of fashion for me. Look at cute Betsy, my mom.
Do you remember Betsy's horse kicked you in the shin?
Yes, and I cried.
Yeah,
and I
well,
was so embarrassed about crying.
I thought you were very brave, quite frankly.
So does Felicity's co-star, Eva Longoria. When Diane Sawyer asked her who was the bravest of the Desperate Housewives, she named Felicity.
Do you think of yourself as brave?
No, I'm frightened all the time. I spend my entire day being frightened. I wake up frightened.
Of what?
I go to bed. The world. I just have a high level of fear all the time. I'm just frightened all the time. I mean, I think I compensate for it by going, I'm ready. Want to fight?
So, much like her character Lynette, she fights and forges ahead. Into marriage to actor William H. Macy, motherhood of Sophia Grace and Georgia Grace, and fame.
And so what does your husband think about all of this?
He is so supportive. He just wants me to shine. He cherishes me.
They were working together back in November 1989 when Felicity invited me to a dress rehearsal of one of her plays, Bobby Gould in Hell. Macy played the devil. She also acted with him in her last big hit, the critically acclaimed Sports Night. That was 5 years ago. Before then, she even went a year without work and considered going to beauty school.
I had been on my 600th audition and I hadn't gotten it, and they were like, thanks, or thanks but not pretty enough, which I got a lot.
That's crazy.
That's true. And I know, look at my face. So I drove to Marinello's School of Beauty, which I'd driven by many, many times, and I went in and got an application. And I came out, and I got a call from my wonderful agent, Lee Burlstein, saying, you got a pilot.
Years later, the pilot came her way. But even now, she's been known to wonder how she fits into all of this.
I don't know. My co-stars are anywhere from a size 0 to 2, maybe a 4 on an off day, and they're very beautiful. And you know, my character's sort of frumpy and out of step, and a frumpy mom. So just physically, I feel like I don't quite fit in.
But her size 6 fits in perfectly on this Vanity Fair cover, the one that elevated the gossip over on-set catfights to a whole new level. And Felicity predicted it all in this quote from the article itself. I do worry about backlash a little. We, our society, like to build something up and then tear it down, particularly women, particularly actresses.
That's really true. You're the first one that brought that up. I was frightened it was coming. And, you know, even from before we were on the air, the minute you put 4 women together, and sociologically, I don't know why this is, but everyone's going, ooh, there's going to be fights. And, you know, every day in the rags, we'd be like, oh, who's fighting with who and who's not talking to who? So they've been ready for us not to get along from the beginning.
But in the end, she believes Housewives creator Mark Cherry has created something that is more than a clever primetime soap opera.
We should tell each other this stuff.
Something that speaks to women everywhere.
I've been friends with Felicity's eldest sister since our 1989 trip, but I haven't seen Felicity until just recently in New York. She was promoting her new film, Transamerica, in which she plays Bree, a pre-operative transsexual.
And I immediately felt...
She took herself from this...
Oh my God, that was really a great trip, wasn't it?
To this, 4 octaves lower and a lot more.
You can sign that consent form, please.
It was a role Felicity had wanted badly.
My wonderful agent, Chris Andrews, was going to bat for me, and I was at the table read of the pilot of Desperate Housewives. And we all met and chatted, and then we took a break before the reading, and I got the phone call that I got the part. And I don't remember anything about the Desperate Housewives reading because I was so sick about getting the part, and I was so nauseous, I was so frightened. I immediately called Duncan after the reading, and I tried to talk him out of casting. I was like, no, you shouldn't cast a woman, you should cast a man.
And it's a good thing the director didn't. Felicity won Best Actress for Transamerica at the recent Tribeca Film Festival in New York. Then there was that Golden Globe nomination for Desperate Housewives. A graduate of NYU, Felicity also studied at the Royal Academy of Dramatic Arts in London. But Felicity dislikes being singled out as the actress among the housewives. And she scoffs at comments that she's the solid, sensible, professional one.
I think they just don't know what else to say about me. She's the fat, old one. They were going to put that, and then they had to, replace it. One, I'd have to cop to being sensible, and, as my husband said the other day, he goes, you're a crazy actress, too. And I was like, yeah, that's true.
But 16 years ago in Kenya, when I met her, she did seem sensible, although infectiously enthusiastic. She was there with her brother, her mother, and 2 of her older sisters. The youngest of 8, she says having 6 older sisters helped ground her.
So I had so many mentors, and for different problems or different questions, I'd go to different ones. 2 of my sisters were here with me last night at the Tribeca Film Festival, Mariah, who you know, and Betsy, and so I've had a lot of support and love.
And a lot of love and support from husband, actor William H. Macy.
Is there a possibility, because you say that you love acting with him, is there a possibility he might visit Wisteria Lane?
Only in drag. He's going to come as the 6th housewife.
Okay.
Wilhelmina.
They have 2 children, 4-year-old Sophia Grace and 3-year-old Georgia Grace. And for Felicity, motherhood is a process.
A lot of times I'll come to work unprepared because of the kids, and a lot of times I'll come to the kids tired and unprepared to deal with them because of work. But, I only work 2 or 3 days a week, so that's a great schedule. And, I don't know, I'm learning how to be a mom.
And Felicity talks about how that shadow side of motherhood inspired Housewives creator Mark Cherry.
Mark Cherry was watching that woman who drowned her children and said, gosh, could you imagine doing that? With his mother, who was at this point 75. Oh my God, I hope you're 75. Maybe you're 65. You look 50. And he said, could you imagine doing that? And she took the cigarette out of her mouth and went, yeah, I've been there.
So in that context, do you think Desperate Housewives is an important show?
I think it's liberating. I never wanted to play a mother. I never wanted to do kids. I never wanted to be the person going, oh, honey, we're out of milk. I said no to all those auditions, but when I read the script, I saw her losing her mind. I saw her with the challenges. I saw her drowning under the weight of motherhood, the way I feel every day, and I know not everyone does, and God bless them. I went, yes, finally, this voice needs to exist out there. All the other ones do. Why not this voice?